Chapter 11. After grabbing a hamburger in the food court, Leah and Ethan returned to cruising the mall. Ethan stopped in front of a large toy store. "Let's go in here," he said. Leah hadn't been in a toy store for years. She found walking through the aisles with Ethan fascinating. His gaze darted everywhere, absorbing the array of toys and playthings like a sponge soaking up water. He stopped by a model train display. He bent down, examining from every angle the perfect replica of an old-fashioned steam engine, tracks, countryside, and miniature town. "Cool, isn't it?" Leah asked. "Yes," he answered. "It runs on electricity," she reminded him. "Why would somebody build this?" "For a hobby, I guess. For fun." He shook his head. "This person has too much spare time." Leah didn't want to get into another discussion with him about what was and wasn't practical. She wandered off and started sorting through a table filled with marked-down items. She picked up a bright pink plastic egg left over from the store's Easter merchandise. When she pushed a button on the side of the egg, the top half popped open and a small, fuzzy chick popped up and made a peeping noise. "Ethan, look." Leah took it over to him for a demonstration. "Isn't this cute? I'd like to buy this for Rebecca. Do you think she'll like it? She has real chickens. So what? This is really cute, and girls like cute things." "But what is the purpose of this toy?" "Purpose? Does everything have to have a purpose for you? Can't you—" Leah was just warming up when she realized that he was teasing her. "I should slug you," she said. He threw up his hands in mock surrender. "I would rather have a kiss." She stalked to the counter and bought the plastic egg. Out of the mall again, Leah paused at a store window and pointed. "Here's a hair salon. Were you serious about getting a different haircut?" Ethan cranked his neck to peer past posters for hair products. "I see only women in there." "The salon is unisex, for both men and women," she explained. "We could talk to a stylist, look through some books, then you could decide." He licked his lips nervously. "No one will laugh at me? No way. It's their business to make people happy with their haircuts." "We could talk to one," he said hesitantly. Leah caught his arm. It might cost some money. I mean, more than you think it's worth." "I have money." "Well, let's go talk to them." An hour later, Ethan's thick blonde hair had been washed, cut, and dried in a sleek new style. It was still conservative, but it looked modern, not home-done, like its original cut. His expression throughout the process was one of stoic resignation. He never even closed his eyes during the shampoo portion. "Relax," the stylist told him. But when it was over and he saw himself in the mirror, Leah saw a grin creep out around the corner of his mouth. She thought he'd never look more handsome, but she knew flattery would only embarrass him. Once they were out in the mall, she said, "I like it, do you?" "Yes, but back home I will be teased by my friends." "If they don't have anything better to do than tease you about a haircut, then tell them to get a life." Ethan grinned. "I will tell them." Leah looked at her watch. It was almost 9. "I think we better start back." "In the car," Ethan said. "Today was fun, Leah. I liked being with you. I liked the adventure." She thought it odd that he considered a visit to a hospital and a mall adventurous. Then she reconsidered. He probably never spent a whole day doing things that didn't revolve around his family or farm work. The Amish probably thought that shopping with a specific purpose was frivolous. "Anytime you want another adventure, tell me," Leah said. I like being with you two today." It was after midnight when they returned onto the Longacre property. "Stop the car here," Ethan said. "I will walk the rest of the way to the house." Leah turned off the engine. "Good thinking. We don't want to wake anybody up," she asked. "You won't get in trouble, will you? With your father, I mean?" She hadn't forgotten their raised voices the day she stopped by to tell Ethan about her doctor's appointment. "If you're asking if Papa is angry at me for leaving today, the answer is yes." Leah winced. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make him mad at you." She played with her fingers in the dark. "I know he doesn't like me." "That is not true. He has not forgotten your kindness to Rebecca when you were in the hospital together." "Okay, so he tolerates me, but he doesn't like your hanging around with me." "He has reasons," Ethan said, not bothering to deny that Leah's observation was correct. "Such as?" Ethan didn't answer, and the silence stretched into a long, awkward minute. "I cannot say, but it is not you as a person, Leah." His refusal to tell her was infuriating. Still, she was determined not to nag him. "Look, I know you get up at 5:30, and I got to go to work in the morning also." "Leah, I'm not keeping a secret to make you angry or because I do not care about you," he said, as though sensing her feelings. "You don't owe me any explanations, Ethan. I'm English and you are not. I guess in your father's mind that's the reason enough." She started the engine. "I hope you don't catch too much flack about your hair." Ethan opened the car door and stepped out into the weak pool of light cast by the car's interior lights. "Wait," he said, before she could pull away. He reached into his shirt pocket and pulled out a small package. "This is for you. I told you I was going to buy you a present." "When did you buy it?" "We were together the whole day. That is a secret. Open it. She took a small box from the bag. In the box, nestled in cotton, was a porcelain lop-eared rabbit, not more than a few inches long. It glowed alabaster white in the light from the dashboard. Oh, Ethan, it's beautiful. It is small. It is cute. You said girls like such things. Leah realized that she couldn't hold a grudge against Ethan. Her annoyance with him evaporated. You're a very thoughtful, kind person, Ethan. Thank you. Not just for the present, but for being with me today. It meant a lot to me. You are welcome. You make me happy, Leah. Happier than anything else I have ever known. Leah watched him walk toward the old farmhouse and back into the Amish world. She drove off to return to hers. The next day, Mrs. Stultz asked Leah to go out to the Longacre farm to buy fresh vegetables for her kitchen. They have the best in the whole area, she told Leah, and I know you're friends with them. Leah figured Kathy must have said something to Mrs. Stultz about Leah's knowing the Longacres. She was happy to have an excuse to see her friends. I like Ethan's haircut, Charity said, as she and Leah walked in the garden, picking ripe vegetables. Colorful flowers used as natural insect repellents grew between the orderly rows. Everyone noticed it then, I guess. Yes, it was noticed. Did your family approve? Rebecca and I approved, but your parents didn't? Not Papa. He told Ethan that he looked fancy. Knowing her fears had been realized, Leah asked, what did Ethan say? He told Papa it was his hair and that he could do with it as he liked. You mean they argued about it? Leah couldn't understand what was so bad about Ethan getting his hair cut differently. He'd done nothing wrong. Not an argument, Charity said, answering Leah's question. Papa does not argue, but you know when he is not pleased. I'll bet, Leah muttered. She couldn't accept Mr. Longacre's stern ways. Charity lifted the stalk of tomato plant, plucked several rosy red ripe ones, and put them in the basket she carried. Let's not talk of Ethan's haircut, she said. Let's talk about the carnival and camp out. Ethan says that you will come with us. It sounds like fun. Leah hoped she sounded sincere. I am excited. It is something we all look forward to while we are growing up. This is my first year to be old enough to go. Will you go with Jonah? Charity had been pulling green beans from climbing vines. At the mention of Jonah, her hands grew still. Yes, but no one knows except you. Do you think kids will figure out when they see the two of you together? Why keep it such a big secret? We go as a group, not as couples, Charity said. Jonah will be there. I will be there. That is all. But you and Jonah know that the two of you are really together, right? That is right. Leah couldn't fathom this logic, but she knew it was important to Charity to pretend that she and Jonah were just part of the group, nothing more. I won't tell a soul, she said. Charity handed the basket to Leah, gathered the corners of her apron to make a bowl, and tossed a handful of green beans into it. I have a favor to ask you, Leah. Sure, just name it. I want you to help me change my appearance for the camp-out. Like how? I want to dress English for that night. Warning bells went off in Leah's head. Why can't the other Amish girls help you? I could ask some of them, but I don't want to. I want you to help me. You are real English. They are not. I've seen some of them dressed up, and they look pretty real to me. It wasn't that Leah didn't want to help Charity. She did. It was that she didn't want to get into any more hot water with Mr. Longacre. She was afraid he might forbid Charity and Ethan to see her anymore. Leah knew that would make her miserable. Also, Charity continued, I cannot buy any different clothes. I will have to borrow them, and I have seen how many beautiful clothes you have. I was hoping you would let me borrow some for the night, because it means so much to me to look pretty. Leah felt boxed in, but she knew she wouldn't refuse Charity. Sure, if that's what you want. Charity's face broke into a bright smile. Oh, Leah, thank you. I know you would help me. You are a true friend. Leah hoped she was doing the right thing. What if your parents find out? Who would tell them? Leah could think of several who might let it slip not to hurt Charity, but to hurt Leah. Still, she'd already said she would help. Have Ethan bring you by my place this weekend. We can go through my closet and try on some stuff. See what you like, and what looks good on you. Yes, Charity said, and makeup too. Leah took a deep breath. Sure, and makeup too.